Well, yeah, mes amis, this is HD, the Harvest Disseminator, bringing you a review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends Deluxe fan channel exclusive Venom. But without further ado, let's chop them up. I started this video weeks ago and I never did finish it, y'all. So this guy's been out the box for quite a while now. I want to give him a short review here. I do have the packaging still. I didn't throw it away because I never did complete the review. So basically, y'all, this is the package right here. You have the Venom logo on the inside of the box. You got the Venom insignia here. You have a spot varnished Venom insignia on top. You will have artwork of Venom. The same arts on both sides of the boxes. You get a product shot on the back. This, of course, is a re-release of a Build-A-Figure. This is not the Matt Gargan Build-A-Figure, however, this is the Eddie Brock version of the figure. And I will have a few issues with the figure itself as it's related to Eddie Brock that we'll look at here in a moment. But the packaging is cool. Of course, you get the barcode down here at the bottom. I actually managed to find this guy by chance at Barnes & Noble before the city shut down here in New Orleans. So very fortunate to have had him. Been posing and been enjoying the figure for quite a few weeks now. So that's the box, y'all. Here's the figure. I'm just gonna put him right here. This will be a short review. The figure is nice, man. I like how he looks. Of course, this back plate was off of him when he was in the box. Let me just pose his arm up. You can pull that right off. So with the figure, this part is disconnected, and it's the same thing with the Build-A-Figure. I have several of the figures and several of the pieces for the Matt Gargan Venom, Monster Venom, but I don't have all of them, so I never did build the entirety of the figure. But this came with Spider-Ham, and yeah, it came like this in the packaging as well. You had to stick this onto his back, so it's pretty basic, y'all. You have these four male parts, and they just, you know, pour right into the female parts right here on his back. Boom, that's in there. Okay, so when you see that in the box, that's what that is. So yeah, man, he's painted real well. Of course, you can see the difference with the paint job is that it does have the Eddie Brock Venom logo. You know, the teeth were repainted, and I'm not a big fan of how the teeth came out. I'll just be completely honest with y'all. With the Matt Gargan Venom, Monster Venom, they painted a lot of detail into the teeth that you don't have with this one. But nonetheless, man, I'm satisfied to have this figure because I didn't build the entirety, and I regret that I didn't. I'd like to have. I just didn't. I couldn't find all of the figures at the time, you know, and things slip your mind, and I never did build them all. But yeah, man, I like all of these little spasms here coming out of his back and out of his arms here from the symbiote. So the figure itself looks good, y'all. Look, just to cut to the chase, this is what I don't like about the figure, okay? I don't like this hinge here that his head is on, alright? So I'm not a big fan of this, how this came out, you know? It just goes up and down. And so when you put the head on, I like that when it was designed, it has room right here for his head. However, you can't turn his head side to side. If you want him to look to this side over here, you have to just bend his head like that. You know, I really don't like that. I wish that instead of this hinge right here, they would have given him this type of a joint that we got with the new Hulk mode that we got here. Man, this is a very good buck right here, y'all. I really enjoy this figure. And when you look at the joint that the head's on, it's this ball joint that rotates. I don't know what the exact name of this thing is, man. Somebody let me know down in the comments below. But you know, you can get like a circular motion with this thing right here, man, and that is really nice. Look at that, man. And so when you put the head on, what this will allow you to do is turn his head to the side. He could look sideways. He could actually look sideways, man. That ball is just going to allow him to do that. Look, man, you can get that head to rock side to side like that. So I like that he can look to the side without doing this number right here. You know, he's not doing that. And so that's my issue with this figure, is that, getting his head back on, you can't get him to look to the side like that. You got to make him do this number right here. And so that's my number one issue with the guy. My second issue with the figure is going to be his feet. Now, the Mac Gargan Venom, in some issues, he does not have toes. In other issues, he does. For example, Thunderbolts number 116, he very clearly has these toes with these sharp toenails. Okay, so it is valid for the Mac Gargan Venom, but I have yet to see the Eddie Brock Venom with toes. And all of the appearances that I'm aware of, he is toeless. So in other words, this is shaped sort of like a boot, if you will. And so that's one of my big issues. You know, I don't mind the repaint, I don't mind the re-release, but I wish they would have actually given us booted feet, toeless feet, instead of giving us these sharp nails right here with toes, because I don't think that's comic book accurate. The rest of it I could live with, y'all. I like all of the veins throughout the sculpt. We've seen a lot of this already. I like how they put the veins right there in the hinge. That's very thoughtful. We saw that with the Hulk buck as well. The hands are very, you know, this paint right here, that's very comic book accurate. I like the nails. The hands came out really nice. They put a blue wash throughout. You can see some of it right there on top of his head. You can see it on his shoulders, there on his thighs. See some of it on the back of his arms back there, even on his back. So the sculpt and all came out real nice. The head sculpt, man, it is nice, man. It is a nice one. You know, if that could have closed, that would have been legit. Instead, the plastic's kind of cracking right there. The head sculpt is really nice, y'all. Look at that, man. Again, but they could have painted those teeth a little bit better. I'm not good at custom painting, but maybe one day, man, I might try something out if I get the idea to do it. So yeah, man, the veins throughout the paint job, it's pretty decent. I like how they made the lines connect right there, man. That's just real clean transitioning with the paint job. You know, maybe a little blurriness right there. It's alright, man. Again, you have these clean connections right over here on this side as well. So the paint job is nice throughout, and he is a really good figure. Just to run down the articulation briefly, this guy can look up pretty decently far. He can also look down pretty good, but not really, man. His head just comes right into place. So that's how far his head goes. There is going to be a little bit of tilting right there on that ball, but I mean, again, to make him look to the side, you got to do this number right here, man. And when you're posing them in action poses and you're doing photography, it doesn't always work out. You just got to be a little bit creative with that. What I'm impressed about the Abomination Build-A-Figure that we're getting with that Gamerverse wave is that the Build-A-Figure will have butterfly joints. And I really think butterfly joints would have went a long way with this guy. And it is a re-release, man, so you're going to have these arms that pop out. I wish, though, on these deluxe figures that are re-released, that they would actually kind of put a joint in there to like keep the arms in so they're not always popping out like that, man. That would be appreciated. We got that with the re-release of the Juggernaut figure as well. You know, his arms just pop right out because he was originally a Build-A-Figure, and of course this came with the Juggernaut Colossus 2-pack. And so it's still a decent figure, but those arms pop right out. So I wish they would have put the arms in there and they would just stay put without coming out at all. But with the arms, you can get a full rotation. They can come up that high, but of course be careful because they will pop out. You do have that bicep swivel. You have a single jointed elbow right there, y'all. With his hinge, you can get a swivel, the hinge up and down. You will have this ab crunch, and he can bend down pretty decently far, y'all. You can bend back that far, which is really not that far at all. It's almost like he's just standing up straight. Yeah, so can't really go back with him too much. If you wanted him to go back, you'd have to bend his knees So with his legs, he can get a big wide split. You do have upper thigh cut. You have double jointed knees, as you can see right here. Get those back down. His feet can go that far up, that far down. You do have ankle pivot. There are some peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but this guy stands just fine on your shelf. You shouldn't have any problems with this guy falling over. And that, my dear friends, is the Venom Deluxe figure. Now let's see how he stands in. And the Eddie Brock Venom will stand in at around 7.5 inches. And here he is scaled next to the Monster Venom Wave Carnage and the Monster Venom Wave Venom. And of course, you can see you have similar logos here, similar imprints on the hands. And so, yeah, you know, this is a good addition to the collection, y'all. I do like this Eddie Brock as well. You know, he's a little bit shorter. And in the comic book, sometimes he is this size. So, you know, that is pretty comic book accurate. And I'm not hating on this figure at all. I like him, but this dude's awesome. And here he is scaled next to Demo Goblin and the Doppelganger Spider-Man. And here he is scaled next to the Symbiote Spider-Man from the Kingpin wave. I believe that was Kingpin. And here we have the Marvel Legends Black Cat. And here he is scaled next to Agent Venom and Red Goblin. And here he is scaled next to Kraven and Pizza Spider-Man. And damn, this Kraven looks like some of the dudes that hang out in the French Quarter. And here he is scaled next to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Howard the Duck and the Hasbro Marvel Legends Howard the Duck. Here he is scaled next to Juggernaut and Rock. And last, but certainly not least, we have the illustrious, beautiful, most powerful Monica Rambeau and the Prince of the French Quarter, Remy LeBeau, known on the streets of the French Quarter as Gambit. So again, y'all, I know that the review is short, brief, to the point. I just pointed out a few things I didn't like about the figure, but time is of essence. My computer's been tripping. I started this review weeks ago. Computer crashed, all kind of problems, so I just wanted to review them nonetheless, y'all. I have a whole bunch of other figures in queue. I'm going to try to give them a little bit more analysis. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. I hope you are all well as we grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, support my channel if you enjoyed the video, y'all. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, give the video a like. And until next time, mes amis, as we say here in New Orleans, laissez les bon temps rouler, mes amis.